Alright, last time we made this strawberry. Now it's time to put some texture on it. To make texture for the calyx, I'm gonna use the stencil texture paint capability inside Blender. And to start, first of all, I need a material. So let's go ahead, call this one calyx, right? I'm gonna jump into texture paint. Let's go ahead, make another viewport, and let me check the UV first. So we have the UV right here. It's good. Let's keep this one as a 3D viewport, but in the texture paint. And this one needs to be reset right there. All right. And we need a texture. So let me quickly go to the image editor, switch to paint, and new image. So first of all, let me cancel this. I have two tile of UVs in UDIM structure, and I don't know any way to actually mask this inside shader editor. So if I have a let's say image texture, and inside this image texture I have a paint on the top of the calyx and bottom of the calyx, because there's a hue, there's a saturation difference between these two. I can't actually do that saturation unless I have another texture for stencil with less saturation. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to paint on two textures. So I'm gonna use a trick. So let's switch back to the 3D view for this one and switch back to image paint. Right. The thing I'm about to do is making an ID mask. So there's two main way. First of all, you might think the big texture inside the render engine here is the way to go. Switch to diffuse and color, and add a material to the front, another material to the back. Let's go first one red, second one blue, and bake that with this option right here to diffuse, and use that diffuse as a mask. But there's too many steps and it doesn't need to be this complicated. So we have another way. Let's go and make a texture. 1024 is more than enough. So let's go call this calyx ID, tiled, of course, and new image. So it's gonna make a new image called calyx ID, and here we need to go to the view, image, and make the second tile. So there's one tile right now. Make it second tile right there and apply. So we have two tile of texture. One from the one for the top and another one for the bottom. So let's go to the brush. So I'm gonna use the fill brush, change the color to blue, and keep that in mind, the blue is the front. So I'm gonna hit and tap on this top UV, switch the color to red, for example, and tap on the bottom one. So now we have two color for each UV texture tile. So I'm gonna switch to, let's say, shader, and find ID map right there. But before that, I miss a step. Let's switch back to the image editor right here to the paint. As you can see, there's a star right here beside image, and that means this color ID, this data, it's not baked yet. So you have to save it over here. If you close your project, even if you save the project, this texture will be gone, even if you have this shield fake user enabled. So keep that in mind. Some really important step. So let's go save all image right there, switch back to the shader and find the color ID and connect that to the user base color right there, to the principal shader. All right, so what happened is we make a color for the top one, another color for the bottom one. Let's use this as a mask. So search for mix color, find a mixed color right there. Use this data, connect that to separate color right here. So connect that to the separate color. Now we have red and green and blue right here. So let's use the blue one. Connect that to a factor right there. And let's go ahead, find a green color, for example, or for the second color, a yellowish color. If I connect that to the output, you see we have green down there and the yellowish or yellow to the top. If I switch that to red, green will be top and yellow will be bottom. So this is our mask basically. We're gonna connect the stencil painted texture to both these ends and add a saturation right in the middle of one of them, the top one. Alrighty then. Let me disconnect that. So let me disconnect that and back to the UV and here, the image editor, paint. So there's no star here. Can switch to another texture and start painting. So let's make another one. This one called Calyx. For this one, let's go 248 and tiled. Just like before, let's go at another tile. Now we have 2 tiles of UDIM. All right, let's go start with the top part. I'm gonna switch to paint right here and switch back to Calyx texture. And here we need to go back to the shader editor and duplicate this one. Find the Calyx, the new texture. Connect that to the shader, so we'll be able to see that in the viewport. All black because we didn't paint anything yet. To paint, I'm gonna switch to paint hard brush. And inside the tool properties right here, I'm gonna go ahead down here and in the section area, texture area, where is it here? Texture area, hit new and hit this button, go to the texture. You can switch to texture by hitting this, show texture in texture tab, or go to the texture tab itself. So go to the project file and image. And I have this one is PSD. It's both the same. I'm gonna include the PNG in the project file. All right. So Calyx PNG. Let's go ahead, open it up back to the tool setting. Load it up right here. And to start painting, we just need to switch this mapping from this drop-down button, drop-down menu to stencil. So if I hover over, you see there is an image loading behind. There's go down to the cursor section right here and increase this texture opacity. Yeah, that's enough. Can see that wireframe and the texture at the same time clearly. So the navigation is right click for the move, right click control for the rotation, right click and shift for the scale. So let's go ahead and match one of these with one of the leaves. I'll make it bigger so this part goes kind of in the middle. We need to blend this with the smudge brush and other brushes to match, because clearly this texture I'm using is not a Calyx texture captured. So this is another foliage you find in the Quixel Megascan library. So it's close enough. Let's go paint on top, and as you can see, I'm painting with the reddish tint because we have red right here. So let's go ahead and reset this color to white. Paint carefully, a little bit in the between those these two leaves, and always check it here. So we see I missed the part right here. And if you, just like me, annoyed by this stencil right here, can switch this to object mode and keep this one for the paint stencil. So see, there's no annoying texture right here. This vein is not in the middle, so we need to repaint this. I'm gonna hit right click, push it a bit over there, maybe even make it bigger, and a little bit of rotation right about here, and start paint again. Paint a little bit outside of the UV because you might need to change the position of this leaf, and having a little bit of bleeding room between textures, it's gonna help to not lose any textures. So have a little bit of bleeding room. So that's one leaf. So let's go ahead and find another one right about here, maybe, and paint. I'm starting from edges, so it actually have something to judge by. And this one, let me check if I missed anything. Nah, looks nice. Little bit at the base, not too much of this whitish area. So next one, rotate, and let me find something. Maybe this one's not bad. Right click and shift to scale it, kinda right there. So it's gonna be our next leaf there. Missed the part right here, and that's gonna be here. So I'm gonna speed up the video and paint the other leaves. We have a stem right in the middle here. So let's match it up and start painting. And let's go with the smudge. Kind of connect them together, not too much. It's a really strong effect. And this is our hero, basically. So I believe that much is enough. All right, and as I said before, you see right here, there's a star right beside the image right here. So open it up and save all image. Save the project too. All right, so for this one, let me go ahead and switch to texture, paint right there, and let's go with the paint soft. So there's a stencil inside the paint hard still, so let's not mess with that. Switch to another brush, and let's go ahead. First of all, let's go with the harder brush. All right, and sample some color. Let's go from these veins. So Shift X, and let's go continue this veins, kinda. All right, then we have the detail at the edge or highlight. So I'm gonna sample from here. So color sample right there, and a little bit of highlight at the edge. And let's mix it up with some smudge. And we have another option, and that would be clone brush. So switch to clone brush and right click with shift to move the 3D cursor to the place you wanted to sample from. So let's go, for example, here and start painting this detail on this area. Let's go from here, so shift and right click. We kind of blend them together. Nice, that would be enough. Let's go ahead and save this image. We're painting on top of the image, but still we are in the Calyx image, so we need to go here and save the image. I can't stress this enough. So let's go ahead and finish up with this top part. Let's see that in our render actually. Not bad. Not bad at all. And so the other side, the bottom side. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the video and paint this one just like the bottom. Alright, both sides are done, and as you can see here, once more, save all image, save the project, and we have both sides. So next step would be converting this image to a proper texture set. So let's switch up to, let's go shader editor. As you remembered, we have one texture called Calyx ID, another Calyx. So we need to have a hue saturation right here, a mix color, connect both of this to this A and B input, connect that to base color, and the top one, let me see which one is top. So the blue is top. Let's connect the blue to the factor and put the saturation right in the middle of the top connection. So the setup is something like this. Now if I go ahead and drop the, for example, saturation for the top one, you see, it's changing. So let's keep it around 0.7. The bottom still has a value of 1 sub the saturation. So it's good. Let's go ahead and let me put this one below here. This one goes on top right there. This goes on top right there. All right, and that's our base color. So we need normal and roughness for this one. So let's go ahead and convert the RGB from Calyx painted color and convert it to black and white. So to do that, we need RGB to black and white. So this is the texture. If I hit O with the node wrangler enabled, I have the output right there, right? And let's find the map range right there and increase the mean to 0.2, for example, and invert this color. So invert color right there. So in the roughness input right here, when making roughness, keep that in mind. anything that has white or grayish value is rough, and anything with the dark value is the glassiness area. So keep playing with these values to find the sweet spot. Maybe about, yeah. So there's one thing. Here I have a lot of white-ish color, and because I inverted the color, those are become black. So it seems we need another texture, or in this case, let's go with vertex paint. I need vertex color to mask this area excluded from this roughness setup. So let's go ahead, switch to 3D view right here. From top view, let's switch to vertex paint. Let's change this attribute or delete it, add another one. It's up to you. I'm gonna rename this default to, let's go Calyx roughness mask. And let's go copy this name. And this one needs to be white, black and white. All right. So switch this to black by hitting X. Go to paint and set this black value with Ctrl X or this option right here. Completely make it black so there's no data right there. Right. Now switch to white by hitting X, and paint this area. Let's go blend it together. And that's enough, I guess. You always can go back and change this. So back to the shader then. All right, to use that attribute, we need an attribute node. Paste your name right here. So that would be Calyx roughness mask. Let's see this mask. Connect the factor, for example, to output. And this is our mask right there. Right, let's move up some of these right here and use a mix color. Connect the factor to factor. Factor is mask right now. And this one to the A input. And this one, the B input, or the second input, it's going to drive the data displaying on this mask area. So I wanted this to be a little bit rougher. So let's go towards white. Now if I connect this to roughness or set this one to the output, hit O, you see, that's gonna be white. But it's too much. Let's go switch to, let's go lighten and drop around here. Alrighty, now let's go connect the Principal BSDF to the output. Let me save the project and see that in render. And as you see here, I changed the render from combined to diffuse color to be able to see the diffuse color a little bit better. So switch back to combine. And this is a roughness. Nice. So next step would be adding some normal. All right. I'm gonna use the same black and white data and connect it to, you guessed it, bump node. So connect the black and white data to the bump node. Let's see that to the output. And let's go distance of 1 and data a strength of 0.1. And obviously it's inverted. So let's go check the invert. Connect this to the normal inside the Principal shader. So now we have some normal data. Right about here, this is some variation to the light. So next would be adding some subsurface scattering, or SSS here, subsurface, through the material here to the property panel or inside the shader right there. So let's go Keep the random walk, it's not bad. You have other options. Skin is not good for this situation. Christian Barely, maybe, but random walk is better. So let's go weight of 1, meaning subsurface scattering all the way. So the radius. First of all, let me go and keep the scale at 1. As you see, light is penetrating to the thinnest area and leave the thickest area alone. So that's gonna be due to this radius. Let me go ahead and make the radius 0.1 or even less. That's not bad at all. So while we add it, let's go ahead to the render, change the color management from HX to let's go Cronus PBR natural, and the look maybe high contrast, maybe, or medium contrast. Yeah, it's looking a little bit better right there. All right, and there's nothing except for sheen. If you wanted that to be a little bit kinda dusty, you can use sheen. So let me show you. If I hit the sheen weight and increase it to 1, you see some sheen right there. Usually we increase it to 1, you see some sheen right there. Usually we use that on fabric and stuff, but here it's no different actually. So a little bit of roughness to the sheen area and maybe drop the weight. And also you have the sheen tint right here. Maybe drop the saturation, because we dropped the saturation for the texture, as you might remember. And if you wanted to derive any weight, including subsurface, sheen, or coat, you can always use the geometry node inside node editor right here and use these pointiness. So let me show you. If I go ahead and make a ramp, connect this ramp to the output with O key, and connect this pointiness right here. Pointiness meaning curvature stuff. So if I make that a little bit tighter, you see now we have a mask to drive anything. If you wanted the sheen to be at the edges, you simply connect the color output to the sheen weight. Where is it here? Sheen weight. Now if I connect the text shader to the output, you see sheen effect those area. All right, about here. All right. In this case, I don't want it to be derived by anything, so I'm gonna drop the weight and delete this completely. Even maybe no sheen or a little bit sheen right there. Alrighty. If the roughness is too pronounced, you can always add, let's say, ramp or another map range right at the end and drop that there, or maybe even matte node. Let me see if I can drive that with the matte node power. So, and let's go power. So yeah, can use power to drive that as well. So I'm not gonna use that. So next would be some change to the actual strawberry flesh. So simply click on it. So there's nothing here actually, except for mask up here. So first of all, we need a little bit of extra data on this surface. Don't forget, this is our hero strawberry, so we need a little bit data. little bit of detail because this is too close to the camera. So to add a little bit more data, first of all, I want to go to the principal shader here, down here. Let's find this setting right there and change the displacement right here from bump only to displacement only. So to make some displacement and extra data, I need some proper node connection. So here, displacement to the output material, I need a displacement shader right there. That's a vector. So connecting to that would be a noise. So noise texture, let's connect this noise texture to the output with hitting O right there. You need to be inside the cycle shader rendering mode to be able to see this output. Don't forget that. Alrighty, and let's change some settings. Here, I'm gonna keep everything except for a scale. Let's go ahead, something a little bit too high, maybe 35 or something. And a little bit of detail, maybe. And everything's looking good. Right, so connect this vector to the height value right here. All right, connect this one to displacement output. So let's go and play with the scale. First of all, put it on 1, and this is the result. Not bad, right? It's an alien strawberry. To have a proper output of displacement, you need to have enough subdivision. In this case, I don't have subdivision surface. In my case, I don't want it to be that high of mesh density, so I'm gonna keep it down and keep this one down to maybe 0.1. Why not? You see, we have a little bit of data. That's enough data, right? There's something bothering me here. You see this bulge right there? Let's go quickly solve this problem. That's inside the sculpt mode. So that's the place right there. Hit G, grab brush, and let's go push this inside. Maybe even this one. Back to the object mode and render. Yeah, that's gone. It's not bad. Let's keep the displacement on 0.1 for now. And let's go ahead, do something about the subsurface scattering. So I don't want it to be everywhere, maybe everywhere except for this dents, indents. So let's use the geometry node trick with the pointiness output. So we need a ramp to drive that. Let's connect the ramp to the output with hitting O. And let's go ahead, maybe invert this. Yeah, here. So skip the white area outside of this indents. And change the linear to ease. And about maybe here. All right. How to use this one for the subsurface scattering? Simply connect this to a scale. All right, that's our scale for the subsurface. And with that, we have more outside of this indents and less inside. If you need to go a little bit more, simply increase the radius right there. Alrighty, that's our subsurface scattering driver. Let's go ahead and maybe add a little bit of color variation with another noise. So let's go ahead and find another noise, connect that to the output right here. And for this one, let's drop the scale about maybe here. I have two places with different colors. And same thing with the ramp color ramp, basically. Let's go and make it kind of black and white-ish right there. So this is our mask. Right about here, put it here. This is our base color. So let's go use another mix color. It's going to be in the factor right here. This is going to be our first color, and the second color. Let me resample the first color as well. So let's use this one. So this is our first color, and maybe this is our second color, a little bit darker. And hit O, connect this to output. And let's go play with this. Be able to see that color variation right about here. And that's the result in the render. Looking good. Let's go save the project. It's not even connected. Still looking good. All right. Another one. We have a lot of natural shadow behind this seeds inside the indents, but I still need a little bit more. I love options. So let's go ahead and use ambient occlusion. And this ambient occlusion is generating at the live, actually. Generating live. And can use that as a mask, just like the noise right here. So let me go ahead and play with distance. And if you use local, let me show you that here with the calyx. If you use a local right here on the local, it's ignoring the shadow caused by the calyx. Maybe let's skip it. All right, it's bad at all. Let's go sample of 32, have a little bit more quality. All right. And let's see. So another color mixer needed, as I told you before. Let me go ahead and connect the AO to the output. All right. Yeah, no different. Connect the AO to the factor, and this is our output color to the A color. And let's drop this second color to something grayish and change the mixer to multiply. So we're multiplying this color on top of this color. Let's go connect that to the output and shader with the output. Wow, that's really, really dark and inverted. So yeah, it's inverted. Let's go and use an invert color node. Now we have dark inside the indent. To drive this darkness, you have option to change this color, go towards white, and drop the darkness right there. Alrighty. Not bad at all. So let's see. Maybe a little sheen is not a bad idea, but first of all, let me go ahead inside the substrate scattering, add a little bit of anisotropy, and anisotropy will actually twist the light inside the skin, the light that penetrates. So let me rotate that a bit. Skin, the light that penetrates. So let me rotate that a bit. You might not see any changes, but you can feel the change. So let me see the sheen. Sheen all the way up. That's good. Maybe let me change that color to something. Maybe around, maybe here. So that's gonna be our sheen. And you have it separate roughness for the sheen right there. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so that's good. Maybe play with the radius right here. We might finish with the material for now. So when we trying to render this, we might need to change something. So for the leaves, let me go ahead and add a subdivision surface. Yeah, let's make it a little bit more tight. This is our hero again. I need a little bit more care. So let me save the project and show you something. And I will go and make two other strawberries. So the thing I wanted to show you is to reverse this strawberry to a stage. You can make another version. So as you see right here, the calyx is actually a little bit too random. You can't use this one with the particle system. It's too obvious. Those are copied. So we need other variations, but I actually applied the multi-res modifier. So if you wanted to go back, you just have one option, and that would be switching to edit mode. All right. And as you might remember, we have a edge right in the middle. So grab this edge, all right, and go to the select loop inner, all right, and keep the top part. So for this one, we need to switch to a face mode and Control I invert, grow one level. So Control numpad plus, grow one level here and delete faces. All right. So it simply got back to the level which we didn't have the solidify. So no solidify here. Another interesting thing is the multi-res. It still has the memory of subdivision right here. So if I enable the wireframe right there and add a multi-res right here and unsubdivide, you see kind of going back, right? Going back nicely, actually. Go back to level of subdivision. We don't have any other subdivision level, right? Yeah, 3 levels. So 3, yeah, 3 good. So apply this, and we actually got back our original calyx. So let's go ahead and maybe delete this one. So grab it and Control numpad plus. Let's go right in the base here and delete faces. So either start extracting from this, from here outside, or simply copy one of the other leaves and put it right here. But before that, we need to move this one with the G, slide that right about here. All right, maybe even simple G. So let's go find the natural one. Maybe the one right in the side of it, right here. So GG, move this one up, and GG right here. So grab this face, Control numpad plus, go here and to the top view, simply Shift D, duplicate it, enter, and let's go move it about here and rotate. right about here. All right, to connect it, simply need to go to the vertex mode, grab this vertex, and shift select this vertex, hit M for match at last. M at last. So we got back our leaf. We switch to normal transform right there and move this to a natural position. Same deal here. And maybe GG some of these back to the original position right here. This one needs to go away right here. So delete and face, switch to edge mode, and we are in the normal transform orientation. So the extrude angle would be, axis would be X. So EX goes right there and here. Let's go ahead, hit S. Same deal with this one. Delete, faces. So now we have the original calyx, sort of, and can start with this one and make another version. Yep. The process is the same, adding one level of subdivision, apply it, add a multi-res, maybe 2 level of subdivision, and go in the sculpt mode and sculpt with the pose brush, and just like the other one, make some leaf. Before that, let's quickly get back to the hero strawberry. We are done with this hero strawberry, except for one thing, and or maybe two things, and one of them being make them a single mesh. So how to do that? First of all, we need to go to the flash and make this instances right here, the seeds, as real. But before that, a little bit of rotation would be nice. A random rotation, it's all rotating in the same direction. And the other one is to add a little bit of, let's say, hair or fair at the top. Let me show you what I mean. So if I make this a little bit bigger and find maybe close-up look right here. You see? We have a little bit of fair looking thingy right here. And I'm gonna try imitate this with a quick fair basically. So let me put this one right here. And first, let's go ahead and make the fair. Select the calyx. I'm gonna hide the flesh right there. And from objects, quick effects, let's say quick fair. It's gonna put fair everywhere, and it's not looking nice. If I switch to render, it's looking nice, almost looking finished, except for being everywhere. So we need to go ahead and make a mask for this one. So it's only work with a texture mask, and that would be here. First of all, it's gonna make a curve right here. So you change everything connected to this hair inside curve right here. So let's go ahead, close some of these, and this is your mask area right here. Mask texture. All right, so go ahead, hide the fair for now, and go to the view, and let's grab a window right here and switch this to let's say image and paint. We need another texture, so let's go make a texture. Let's say fair mask. All right, the resolution is not that important, and let's say tiled. You might need a little bit under. All right. And make another tile, add, and right there. So let's switch to paint for this one. Texture paint. And here, fair mask. So this time I'm gonna paint on the actual 3D model. So let's switch to a, let's say, paint soft brush. And is there any texture attached to this brush? No. So we're gonna make the, for now, let me switch the shader input to the fair mask to be able to see the mask actually. So let's go add image texture, switch it to fair mask, connect it to the input based color, right? And let's drop the subsurface weight. Oh, that wasn't the case. So that was the sheen, right? Yeah. Back to top view, back to texture paint, and let's go ahead, start painting. And fair will be grow out of white areas. So keep that in mind. Let me grab the reference as well. So we have the fair almost the base of the leaves. So it's not going really high. Maybe around here. So alright, you can change this at any time you need. So well, now that's enough. First of all, here inside the image editor, let's go ahead and just like before, save the project. It's a little bit too messed up, so let me go ahead and paint here as well. So paint soft. Nice. Here, as you see, just like before, save the image. All right, and to the shader editor, let's go ahead and connect the image back right here. Now, back to the curve then. To the modifier, and let's go ahead in here, mask texture. Let's go ahead and find the fair mask. It's really good, but it's growing to the outside as well, to the under. So to prevent that, you have to go here and uncheck the follow surface normal. Yep, that's solved. So the only thing left is some variation, maybe a little bit of fuzziness. We have freeze, we have surface deform, but at the same time, we also have, let me switch to asset browser. We have some hair modifier right here. So let's say you need some maybe rotate hair curve. Grab it and go drop it right here. It's gonna go down here. If I switch to a closer look, maybe make it fuzzier, or even go to edit mode, sculpt mode, and with this brushes right here, density, add, delete, and other brushes, can go ahead and change the look of the brush, look of the hair actually. A little bit of grow, a little bit of shrink, maybe a little bit of density change. It's up to you. Right? Back to the object mode, and let me see, freeze. So go up here, maybe increase this to 2, maybe even 3. Right, let's see that in render. Not bad at all. It's actually looking good, except for the color. All right, so let's go ahead, add a material to this. We have the fair material, diffuse color right there. So I'm going to sample the color from reference, maybe around here. All right, a little bit too dark. Maybe something around here. All right, maybe a little bit more density, actually. So back to modifier, and here we have the density. So let's say 600. From distance, yeah, looking good. So let's skip this at this stage. See that with the actual strawberry, so looking good. All right, next step would be combining all of this together. So to combine this, as I mentioned before, first of all, we need to go ahead and to add a little bit of randomness to the rotation. I forget to do that. So here to the rotation, add a little bit of randomness. Let me see that with the no texture. That's the randomness for you. Maybe even a little bit bigger seats. So to the render, a little bit bigger, and a little bit of variation would be nice. Maybe a little bit of seed. Right, not bad. I'm gonna keep this version live and save a copy of it as a backup, because seeds might be a little bit too big. So I don't wanna lose this stage, lose everything basically. Alrighty, so that's gonna be it. So save, and back to the modifier right here. Let's see this one with one level of subdivision. Alrighty, so level 1 for the multi-res is good enough. Let's go ahead and make this instances real first. So we have them all right here selected, but we don't have any active selection. So let's go and shift select one of them. Oh, so let's see. Let's select one of them and Ctrl J. Let's call this one sits. And in the flesh, let's go ahead and have a, what the hell is this? So in this one, let's go ahead and delete the particle system. We don't need it anymore. So we have the calyx right here. We have flesh with no modifier. Yeah, we have modifier right there. So let's go apply the modifier. And here we have subdivision. Let's say apply. So flesh sits, and so flesh sits and calyx right there. All right, grab everything and hit Ctrl J. Alrighty, now let's change this name to strawberry. Alright, let's see that in render. Everything seems nice. We have the curve still active for us right here. Alright, so everything's good. I'm gonna save this another file. So we have two versions, and I'm gonna go make two versions of this, a strawberry, and I'll be back.